YouTube, what up? It's Nate. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. You're gonna see stunt riding, inspiration. I have a self-development podcast that's linked in every video as well, so go ahead and check that out. But today, I had a couple things I wanted to address. I got some great feedback on the last vlog, so I just wanted to do another one. I actually got 2 messages on my Instagram that I wanna, draw some inspiration and tell a story just like I did last time. To help some people, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm simply here because I'm passionate about sharing the things that serve me in my journey and hope that they can serve you in yours. So I just wanted to break down 2 messages that I got on Instagram, one being a positive message, one being a negative message, but the answer that I have for both of them stems from the same thing. And again, I've truly lived my life in metaphor, which I suggest people doing. So without me blabbing on forever, which I can do, I'm gonna just jump right into it. The first message that I got was a question, and it was, how do you stay motivated? The second message that I got was somebody talking shit about how I wear a $600 helmet and I have ripped gloves. So funny enough, the how to stay motivated and the talking shit about the ripped glove thing, they actually go hand in hand. So when somebody asks me, it's been 10 years that I've been doing this, right? I didn't see any results for a very, very long time, probably about eight years or so. And when someone asks me, how do I stay motivated? I think the number one thing is hunger and have a reason why you're doing for what you're doing. The hunger part, for me, I'm reminded by the ripped gloves. Why do I still continue to wear them when I know they're ripped? Why do I still continue to wear them? Because there was a time in my journey after I had got my accident in 2015. If you follow me closely, you're very familiar with that accident. I post content from that accident all the time. After I rebuilt my body, after I rebuilt myself, after I rebuilt the bike and got back on it, I couldn't afford gloves. So the time right after the accident, within that first 6 months, was when I had the most progress that I've had still to this day doing anything on the bike. Is when I jumped a high chair. It's when I was doing Ralph Louis to opposite side 50-50. All these tricks that I still have in my bag today that are still sometimes difficult to me, that I still don't have locked down 100%. I learned those in that first 6 months after I got back on the bike. I wasn't wearing gloves because I couldn't afford them, okay? So this ties into the hunger part. I was so hungry to ride. I was so hungry just to be on that bike and be a part of the feeling that the bike gave me, that the bike gave me freedom, right? So I wasn't chasing any type of result. I was only on the bike for the simple fact that the bike made me feel alive. The bike made me feel present. The bike made me feel like I had a place in this world. And I wasn't worried about sponsors. I wasn't worried about clout. I wasn't worried about likes. I wasn't worried about anything but just progressing, because it just and I just, man, it's something that can only be felt. It can't be explained. So for anybody on here that feels me, I don't even have to continue to explain it because I won't be able to. So I still wear the ripped gloves to this day because it reminds me not to get complacent. It reminds me not to get cocky. It reminds me to keep my foot on the gas, because it's a constant reminder every time I get on the bike and I can feel my bare finger touching the handlebar, that it's just a reminder of how much you don't need all this extra outside shit. People add shit to the bike. They add shit to they add the gear, they add the paint, they add the powder coat, they add all this fucking extra shit because they think that it's gonna do something for them. But what they fail to recognize is that the only thing you truly have to focus on is the skill and the craft, and the rest of the shit is gonna come. So, addressing, the hunger when somebody asks me how I stay motivated, and then, addressing the hater, saying I wear a $600 helmet, but I can't afford, or I can't afford gloves, or I got gloves with holes in them, whatever. It's literally, people don't understand the shit that I do, because I can tell you right now, this and this $2,500 worth of gear given to you whenever you want, and people might think that that shit is just the pinnacle and that's so cool, but what you don't understand is that can make you complacent. that can make you feel like you've arrived somewhere. That can make you feel like you're fucking somebody. That can make you feel like you're actually doing something. But when all reality, what got me there is the attitude that I need to keep. Sure, I've leveled up. Sure, I think differently. Sure, I go about getting sponsorships differently. I don't beg for sponsors. I don't, if I'm not getting paid, I generally don't do anything. That, I've leveled up in that way. But as far as what people need to focus on, if you want to get something out of this game, or you want to get something out of anything that you do, you have to focus on what is going to get you there. And with this, what's going to get you there, number one, is the fucking skill. If you're not a good rider, nobody's gonna fuck with you. And so again, I keep the hunger. I keep the reason why that I do what I do. Those two things were the most important to me on the forefront of my mind by taking this glove and putting it on with these frayed holes every time that I ride the bike. Because it's a reminder of how much of a fucking dog I was and how hard I fought to get where I'm at, and nothing fucking stood in my way. Nothing. I didn't have a pretty bike. I didn't have pretty gear. I was wearing hand-me-down gear. At the end of the day, all of it was irrelevant. The only thing that mattered every day I woke up was how can I throw my leg over this bike today, and how can I ride it? And again, so the message that the dude sent doesn't bother me. I don't allow people to get under my skin anymore, but I felt it was an opportunity to help me inspire in some sort of way that, all this, it doesn't mean anything without the root, the skill, the mentality that it took to get there. All of this irrelevant. And at the end of the day, all this shit can be taken away in a moment, and I'm still going to be the same rider. I'm still going to be the same person no matter what helmet I'm wearing, no matter what gear I'm wearing. All these results are just a byproduct. And again, people put so much emphasis on the result. It's only because you don't have it. When you get the result, you finally understand that you could take all this shit away and I still be doing the same shit that I was doing before, when nobody was fucking with me, when no one gave me any credit or any second looks or anything. I was still the same fucking person. I still put in the fucking work. I never took no for an answer, and I was still a fucking dog. So you guys know me. I can go on forever. If you got value from this video, this is what I'm truly passionate about, is helping people and inspiring people and lighting fire under somebody's ass, and, taking the experiences that I've had and possibly turning it into a positive for your life. So if you got value, subscribe, do all the things, drop a comment down below, let me know how you feeling, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.